Okay, new day, new plan. So we got ourselves, obviously, got the head back from the machine shop. I had this head machined. I had the valve seals replaced in it. I took them original valve seals. They put the valve seals in it, and then they also pressure tested it. So this thing is perfect. They said it was in really good condition. So they did all that for me. I just put the tappets in. You got to make sure when you take this to a shop, either take them out or they can take it out. I usually like to take them out myself. Organize them and make sure they go in the same holes that they came out of. And before you put them in, clean them nicely and then lubricate them with engine oil a little bit, and then slide them nicely into the slots that they were in. These right here, the tappets. So they're local here. They rebuilding the aluminum head rebuilders, I think, here in Portland area. So if you guys are wanting to you have an engine that you want resurfaced, cleaned or pressure tested or anything like that, give them a holla. Search them up on Google Maps. They're aluminum head rebuilders. They do a really good job. It's really popular. I know a lot of mechanics and a lot of professionals that use them. So they have a really good reputation, really good reviews on Google as well. So I know they recently moved shops, so make sure you guys give them a call and verify the address online before you go there. But yeah, that's the head. Tappets are in now, so I'm ready. And then now I gotta get here. There's the block. I'm gonna clean the block nicely and then put the shims in. I think I forgot the shims at home, so I'm gonna have to grab them, and I'll show you a few things with the shims when we put them in, before we put them in. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys. I was curious. I got these from D-Works. I'll include a link to these guys, but you see how they look? Kind of pointy. I was wondering why, and then I got a thinner shim so I can check it, and then I used it right here, and if you look, it goes up and down. Like in the center there's some sort of like a, what do you call it, a dip that goes down. Like the sides are higher right here, and the center is like, it's like, it's like a, what do you call it, a little groove or whatever in between there. So I think D-Works saw that and they designed them like that, so once you put it in, so so they don't slide out, they just stay in there, and then you put a head on it and it doesn't come out, and that way it doesn't let it slide out. But even in that case, we still got the, what do you call that, the sleeve retainer, which is right here, that we're gonna put on the shims just to be safe, so the shims stay there. Rather be safe than sorry on these guys. So once you put a tiny bit of this bad boy right here, Permatex makes them, Loctite makes them, so whichever one you have in your store, just grab one and put a little drop on each side or just one side of the shim when you put it in. So, and then now we'll show you guys how we clean it and then put the shims in. They have a little aluminum block here, so you can tap the shims in there without damaging your sleeves. Okay, so one more tip that we did with Brendan here, we got some acetone, and we poured some acetone on top of the cylinders here, and just like that, we'll put a little bit more maybe, and then after we do that, we let it sit for a little bit. That eats off all the dirt or all the, what do you want to call it, the burn marks or whatever from the cylinder, and we get a shop rag and just wipe it out, and it becomes this clean right here. So this is going to be really nice and clean. So this is a really an extra step, but it's a good step to take when you guys are doing this. You're here anyway, so might as well just make them nice and clean. nice and clean. Wipe them with a rag. We put some penetrating oil on the paper towel, or whatever you want to call it, the shop towel, and just wiped it nicely. So now I got a thinner, a small one. So the smallest one we have is 0.30. I got a 0.28 and just went through the grooves and just cleaned them nice and clean. Make sure there's no garbage in there. I just pretty much do that right there, and that cleans it. So we have a measurement of 0.030, and then the rest of them are 0.32. So we're gonna start from 0.30. Yeah. So this is cylinder 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we'll just go in that order. Okay, so one thing we actually noticed on the D-Works shims here is right on top of it, right there. I mean, I don't know if you see that right there, the notch. So make sure you guys, when you guys put it in, make sure that notch is not sticking above the sleeves here, because if you leave the little notch there, right there, and then the head gasket, and it prevents the head gasket from sealing, you'll have an issue. So we're trying to file it down a little bit, and then also just making sure it doesn't catch. This one does a little bit, so we're gonna try to clean that up a little bit so it doesn't. These ones are fine that we put in, and this last one we're gonna file it down and then put it in as well, and then we're gonna fix this. We made sure that the guides on the block were in all the way. We used this aluminum from D-Works, the aluminum block, the tab, and just put it on top of the guides. There's two of them on the turbo side, yeah. So we just put this block on and tap that. You'll feel it once it's all the way in. You'll feel the sound change once it's all the way down, and then give it a couple more taps just to be safe, so that the head is all the way into itself. I mean, into the on the block flat. Okay, so I wanted to mention also that the head bolts, I also had to get new ones. You always want to replace them, but because I think they're torque to yield. So yeah, so once you get the head off, you always have to replace the head bolts, or just get upgraded ones. But either way, you need to replace them. You can't reuse the old ones. Okay, so you guys, the torque converter is on this side, the transmission. So you start with these guys. So it goes this here, here, and then we move here, and then we do those two, and then we go that way and that way. So this is the transmission side, and this is the crank, where your serpentine belt goes. So one more time, these two put, and then these two, and then move over to those, and then those right here, and then to the last side right there. So first ones, how do we go? 30 newton meter,
20 newton meters.
Yeah, 20 newton meters, and then goes to 60, and then we'll let you guys know the last sequence. So first torque sequence 30 and 20 newton meters. So we went once and then we double checked the second time. Then we did 60. Would also, as you guys saw in the time lapse, we did it twice each one just to double check. And then this is the last sequence, which is 130 degrees from the point. So we're just choosing a point and we're just gonna go right up to 130 degrees. So it's 90 this way and we'll just go a little bit more. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so you guys, so we're putting new spark plug seal gaskets on there, new cam seals on both sides. Obviously on the valve cover we have an anaerobic sealant, original one in those little tubes right here, these right here. So that's gonna go on the valve cover because it's not a gasket, it's this guy here. So we'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how nicely and thin that we spread it on around every little bitty where you can go out of the valve cover. So just for any of you guys that are curious,
this is the Volvo anaerobic too.
Yeah, this is the Volvo original stuff. It's the best stuff you can get. So yeah. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys one quick thing. As you guys saw, we started tightening the valve cover from the center, kind of like we did the head bolts, just from the center, and worked our way out, kind of this way, and then out. So that way it's all nice and even. And then we used the valve cover compressing tool, the original one, to pop the valve cover on top evenly. So, and then after that we put the bolts in it. Okay, so we have the intake notch and exhaust notch right here. So if you look on the back of the cover, the cams, there's that notch right there. So on the intake side it should be up, and on the exhaust side there's a notch right there on the bottom. Let me see if I can show you guys. Anyways, on the bottom there, right there. So on the exhaust side is supposed to be down, on the intake side is the notch supposed to be up, and then you set this one. So this one is the mark on the crankshaft. Obviously you guys know there's that mark right there. I showed you guys in the videos that I did a timing belt. So there's that notch right there, and then right there on the crank, right there, if you guys can see, right over there. So that one we set as top dead center, and then we set the cams in the back, lock them with the locking tool, and then we moved to these and we set the marks. So okay guys, so we timed the engine. We had to pull the sprockets off and everything because they were quite a bit off after we locked the back of the cams up. So these ones, you want the VVT unit all the way clockwise, and then these ones, then you spin it all the way around, and then you position these sprockets on the VVT unit to, after you spin it all the way, make sure that it lines up with the marks right here. But I would recommend, if you guys gonna time it, if you're gonna pull the VVT units off, make sure you have VIDA or the instructions printed out from someone. That's gonna be the best way. It's a long explanation to try to do a step-by-step. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't think you guys are gonna want to watch this long of video if I explain all the instructions. But I'm just gonna tell you guys the generic ones. Like I said, what I mentioned, the VVT unit all the way clockwise, then you tighten it, then you put the sprocket all the way clockwise, and you spin it all the way around, and then you position it to the mark. So that's pretty much as far as I'm probably gonna go on the timing here. I would recommend getting the instructions on that if you're gonna mess with that. So yeah, now we're gonna take the locking tool. We took it off, we tightened everything, torqued everything. So now we're gonna turn the crank, put it back, mark, make sure the mark on the crankshaft lines up and all these lines up. So we're gonna probably double spin it and then to just triple check, make sure all our timing is correct. All right, so we spun the crank 4 times. We did it twice to line up, and then we did it one more time to make sure we're not making any contact. And the crankshaft is lined up. All the markings are lining up, as you guys can see, on both sides. And then, as you can see in the back, the exhaust side notch is down, and the intake side, the notch is up. So, yep, everything looks good. And look at this. D-Works, hit me one more time. I like this little block, man. I'm gonna leave this. This is gonna be around my shop because this is an awesome tool. You know, if you don't want to damage an engine, or you're doing something, you're tapping on something, you need to get it down, and you don't want to damage the surface of what you're working on. This is a great tool. See, it damaged this thing, but it never touched the engine. So, great tool. So the engine's all together now. So we gotta put the VVT solenoids on. Those go on only one way. You can't really mix it up. And there's and it says right there, this is an intake, and then exhaust side. So it says on them which one's the intake, exhaust, the sensors. They go on one way only. You can't mix them up. So this stuff is pretty easy now. The rest of the stuff. So we got the major stuff already together. So this engine is pretty much together. I'm gonna go buy these studs because I don't have all of them. It seems like whoever took the intake manifold and exhaust manifold off took them out and didn't put all of them in. So I'm gonna have to go and buy new studs, or whatever you call them, for the intake manifold and exhaust manifold, and then take this out. They're pretty loose, so I can take them out and put the new ones in. So yeah, that's the only thing I gotta do. But other than that, that's how you shim the engine and put it together. Really, I mean, I tried to kind of be as detailed as possible and as, you know, as short time as possible. I didn't want to make this a, you know, crazy long video because nobody's probably going to watch it anyways for that long. So I just kind of wanted to make it detailed as possible, and in the shortest amount of time. So I hope you guys you know, enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped a bunch of you guys out. I don't know, I don't think there's much videos about this kind of stuff, shimming, assembling, everything, all that. So on the P2Rs and, you know, the V70Rs, S60Rs. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.